You are standing in front of a decision. Maybe it is a job, a course, a business idea, a move, an investment, or a chance to choose yourself. For a second, you feel hope. A small voice says, maybe this could work. Then another voice arrives. What if it does not? What if I lose money? What if I regret it? What if I cannot fix it later? So you pause, you wait, you check, you think again, you imagine the worst future before you let yourself imagine the best one. From the outside, you may look calm. People may call you careful, practical, or slow. But inside, it feels deeper. It feels like one wrong move could disturb the safety you worked hard to build. You do not always say, I am afraid of risk. You say, I need more time. I want to be smart. I do not want to make a mistake. But under those words, there is often a quiet fear, the kind that sits in your chest when money is involved, the kind that makes freedom feel beautiful, but safety feel necessary. If this sounds like you, hear this first. You are not weak. You are not irrational. You are not broken. There is a reason you think this way. Your caution did not come from nowhere. A part of you learned that safety matters. Maybe money felt tense when you were young. Maybe people around you worried often. Maybe you had to grow up too fast. Or maybe your mind simply sees danger before other people notice it. Your mind is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to protect you. People who fear risk quietly are not empty of ambition. Many of them want freedom, peace, and a better life. But before they move, they need to feel safe. Risk feels like standing on a bridge and wondering if it will hold. So before we judge this pattern, we need to understand it. Under the hesitation, there are old memories, body signals, personality traits, and money beliefs working together. There are quiet systems inside you, asking one question again and again. Will we be okay if this goes wrong? When you see these patterns clearly, fear may stop feeling like shame. It may start feeling like information. The first pattern is this. Your brain feels loss more strongly than gain. Research in behavioral economics has shown this clearly. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky found that losing often hurts more than winning feels good. In simple words, your brain hates losing more than it enjoys winning. That is why risk feels heavy. Someone says, you could make more money, but your brain hears, you could lose what you already have. Someone says, this is a good opportunity, but your brain hears, this could become a mistake. So you do not only see the reward, you see the rent, the bills, the savings account, and the quiet shame of explaining what went wrong. This is why you may keep too much money untouched. This is why you may delay choices. This is why you may stay with the familiar, even when it no longer makes you happy. You are not just overthinking. You are protecting. Your mind is acting like a guard at the door. The guard may be too strict sometimes, but it exists for a reason. The second pattern is this. You may not fear risk. You may fear not recovering. Some people take risks because they believe they can bounce back. They may have support, savings, confidence, or a history of surviving failure. But for you, failure may feel like falling with no net. Maybe you grew up around money stress. Maybe bills caused tension. Maybe your home looked normal, but you still felt pressure in the air. Children can feel money stress, even when nobody explains it. They notice the careful spending. They learn that peace can depend on having enough. So later in life, Risk feels like an old room inside you. It brings back the fear of being trapped, going backward, or needing help that may not come. Studies in neuroscience suggest that the brain can react to threat before we can explain it with words. That is why risk can feel physical. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your thoughts speed up. You may think you are making a money decision, but your body may think it is keeping you safe from old pain. The third pattern is this: control becomes your comfort. When life feels uncertain, control can feel like a warm house. You control spending, you control plans, you control your routine, you control how far. You let yourself hope, not because you want a small life, but because control gives you peace. This shows up in simple money habits. You check your account often, you feel guilty after spending, you save, even when you are tired. The cost is not only money, the cost is the loss of control. People may think you are cheap, but often you are trying to feel safe. People may think you are too serious, but often you are carrying invisible responsibility. Enjoyment is hard when one part of your mind is always asking, will this hurt us later? This part of you is not your enemy. It helped you survive, but a protector can become too powerful. A locked door can keep out pain, but it can also keep out life. The fourth pattern is this: you confuse peace with predictability. For some people, and peace means freedom. For you, peace may mean knowing what comes next, a steady income, a clear plan, a safe path, a decision that lets you sleep at night. Uncertainty feels expensive because even before you lose money, you lose calm. You think about the decision in the shower. You think about it in bed. You imagine the best outcome, then the worst one. Again, by the time you finish thinking, the opportunity feels heavy. Not because it is bad, but because your mind turned it into a storm. Personality research shows that some people are naturally more alert to possible threats. They notice problems early, they prepare, they see what others miss. This can be a gift. Careful people read details. They save for winter. They do not follow crowds blindly, but the same gift can become a cage. When your mind is trained to see danger, it may struggle to see possibility. And this is where quiet regret can enter. You see other people take chances. They start sooner. They move faster. They seem lighter. Maybe you had an idea years ago. Maybe you wanted to apply, leave, build, or try. But you waited. You needed more certainty. You needed one more sign. Then the door closed. That regret hurts because it does not come from laziness. It comes from self-protection. You were not doing nothing. You were trying to keep your life from falling apart. Still, part of you wonders what your life would look like if safety did not have to approve every dream. This is why money can feel so emotional for you. Money is not just money. It is breathing room. It is options. It is the wall between you and chaos. So when someone says, take the risk, they may think you are risking money, but you feel like you are risking safety, peace, and dignity. Money is not just math. Money is memory. Money is protection. And there is something very human about that. For most of human history, careful people helped the group survive. The person who noticed danger mattered. The person who saved food mattered. The person who watched the unknown path mattered. Our brains were built for survival before they were built for modern money. They were not built for credit scores, job markets, rent increases, online comparison, and constant pressure to move fast. So if your mind looks for danger, it does not mean it is broken. It means an old part of you is still asking, will we be safe tomorrow? But modern life often rewards speed, fast choices, fast confidence, fast moves, fast risks. People are praised for jumping early and acting before they feel ready. Careful thinkers can feel left behind, not because they are less capable, but because they move at the speed of trust. You need to understand the ground. Before you step, you need to know the bridge can hold. That is not weakness. That is your way of moving through the world. You are not the loud gambler. You are not the careless jumper. You are the cautious strategist, the silent planner, the long-term builder, the financial observer. You are the person who thinks about winter while others are still enjoying summer. There is wisdom in that, but safety and growth do not have to be enemies. You do not have to become careless to become brave. You do not have to ignore fear to move forward. You do not have to shame the careful part of you. You can thank it. You can say, "You protected me." But you can also ask, are you protecting me from real danger or from an old fear? One part of you protects your foundation. Another part protects your future. Your work is to let them speak without letting fear make every decision. So if you fear risk quietly, do not begin with shame. Begin with curiosity. What did caution help you survive? What dream have you been asking? Safety. To approve. You are not broken. You are wired. For depth. You are not behind. You understand. Consequences. Maybe your growth was meant to be slower, wiser, and more rooted. So sit with this question. Are you avoiding risk because it is wrong for you, or because an old part of you still does not believe you would survive it? If this helped you understand yourself more clearly, stay with this channel, because sometimes the way you handle money is not really about money. It is about safety. It is about trust. And it is about who you had to become to feel okay.